Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and happy Monday to you all. I'm currently driving, so I apologize for any background noise in advance. So guys, today I want to talk to you about when your season ends. Now, when your season ends can be in different directions. That can be a relationship of any sort. That can be a job. That can be your time in the state that you're currently in. It can be in so many different directions. But here's the thing, guys. Whatever direction that is, whenever your season is up, your grace is also up. So my point is, when God places you in a certain place or a certain particular individual lives, you have grace to carry that thing through. And that is why when you're dealing with that thing, let it be a person or a job that is extremely stressful and that you don't know how you made it out without being admitted into the crazy house, not crazy house, but maybe a mental ward. I didn't mean to say crazy house. Don't want to offend anyone, but it's like how when you get out of it and you look back and you think about all the things that you went through, it's like, how in the world did I make it through that time without losing my edges or just be, how did I make it through? Well, it's because you have the grace to make it through. So anything that God any place that God places you or places you into a person's life, and he needs you to be assigned for a particular reason. It could be temporary. It could be a month. It could be a year. It could be several years. But at some point, whenever and if God decides to end that season, you will start to lose grace if you're not careful. And before you know it, sometimes we get comfortable. So sometimes even when the season is up, we stay because we've gotten comfortable. Now, most times when the season is up, you will already have lost interest in that thing. If it's a person, you may constantly be turned off. And once your season is up with someone, every little thing that they do turn you off. So you're constantly finding yourself irritated and not wanting to be around this person and trying to do everything to stay out of the house or stay out of their way. Or they could be doing something that is so minor, but it irritates you. And they did the same thing maybe a year ago, but you were able to deal with it. Not to say that it didn't irritate you, but maybe not to this magnitude. It's because you have the grace. Even if it's a job, you maybe found extreme enjoyment in your job, when you were assigned to it and you had the grace and God needed you to go and change some things around or go and learn some things or go and learn the footing so you can start your own business. So whatever the reason why God sent you to that place, you probably found enjoyment out of it at the time. And now it seems as if you dread going to work or you dread going to that business or whatever the case may be. And you've lost interest and you're not even giving it 100%. Well, we all know that when you're not giving something 100%, then, you're really not building the way you should be building. So it's important for us to realize when that season is up. And what we have to do is we have to take our fleshly desires from it. We have to take the fact that we're comfortable from it. We have to take the fact that we're fearful and we don't know where the next move is going to take us. The uncertainty sometimes can be extremely fearful. But when God is giving you a sign and telling you that the season is up, you have to remain obedient, because if you don't, again, you will no longer eventually your grace will fade from it, and then you will no longer prosper. You will stay stagnant. You will stay stuck. But if you're trying to go higher, if you're trying to get exposed to more things, or you want to climb the ladder on the blessings that God has for you that will ultimately lead you to your destiny, you have to move when he says move. You have to leave that relationship if he says time to leave. If he's telling you it's time to leave that state, if he's telling you it's time to leave that job and start your own, whatever that thing is that he's telling you to do, you must do it. Now here's where many times we go wrong, definitely myself included. Sometimes we go ahead of God or we lag behind God. I'm definitely not the one to lag behind. I am the one that goes ahead. So I'm challenging myself every single day to try to stay at the pace in which God needs me to stay at and not move too quick ahead. Because see, sometimes you can hear that it is time for you to leave that thing or that person, right? You can hear that, but that doesn't mean today. God might give you the revelation today. And see, I'm the kind of person, once God gives me the revelation, if I get the revelation at 7 o'clock in the morning, 7:01, honey, I'm packing. 7:01, I'm like, okay, God, let's do it. And then I get stuck. And now I'm frustrated because I'm like, okay, God, but I'm confused. You told me let's go, but now I can't move. Like, nothing's working out. I don't have the door's not opening. What do you want me to do? And he's like, just because I gave you a revelation, it doesn't mean that you do it today. I'll give you the revelation, and that is for you to start preparing. So if I've given you the revelation and I've shown you what's to come, then yeah, you need to be preparing for it. You need to be researching. You need to be looking for that house in that state. You need to be preparing. And anything that's not of my will and you're doing it in your own flesh and you don't even realize it, don't worry, I'll get it back on track. You just do what you think you need to be doing, and you move when you think it is my voice. And if it's not my voice, if it is the voice of the enemy, which can be confusing at times, don't worry about it. I won't allow that door to open. So you're still good. Now, for those of you who drag behind God, meaning, okay, God is ready for you to move. He's giving you the revelation. He's telling you to take that step out on faith, and the door has already opened. The job already called you and said, hey, the opportunity is available. You know what I mean? Like, it's already there. God has already opened the door, like literally opened the door. But you're still making 1,000 excuses. Oh, I don't want to leave my family. Oh, I don't want to move to a different state where I don't know anyone. Oh, I don't know if this relationship is right, because what if I move there and he or she starts to change? Like, you will start talking yourself out of it. Now, it is very, very crucial to converse with God and make sure you get into fasting and praying to be sure that is, the thing for you. And most importantly, ask God how to move forward with it and how to move fear out of the way where you can trust him. See, many times what we do is we start putting it, once the door opens, the fear comes in because we're trying to trust ourselves, or we want to limit the thing with our flesh, meaning, okay, if I take this first step out, if I leave this state, what happens if the job doesn't work out, right? Well, you're not trusting God at this point. You're trusting yourself, because let's just say, well, first of all, if God gave it to you, it's going to work out. But let's be fair and say that you get there and that thing doesn't work out. God's still with you. So even if it doesn't work out, it's not that God have left you. God will still be with you, and God will still see you through. He will still take care of you while you are wherever you are. And even if that means that you will have to come back home or go back to where you came from, God will still be with you. God will open another door, to take you where you're going back to. So he never left your side. So we keep putting, and I stress we, not just you guys. I'm very transparent, as you know. We keep putting the trust in ourselves. Well, come on. Really, how much can we trust ourselves? Think about it. We're human. Once that flesh starts to rise up, fear gets involved, anxiety gets involved. Come on. We can only really trust ourselves to a certain extent. But so if you're one that's lagging behind God, you got to be very, very careful, because what'll happen is, God will give you that grace to make the move. God will give you that grace to make the step. But if you're realizing that, okay, this person is just not ready, this person is not being obedient, this person is just not going to, so let me go ahead and choose someone else. Because see, God is going to get his purpose done one way or another. right? He have you assigned to a purpose, but if you yourself refuse to move in the fleshly sense, or you remain to be obedient, disobedient, then it's like, okay, you won't do it. It has to get done. I need it done. So I'll find somebody else. I'm not going to say, I'm God. Why would I sit here and debate back and forth with you about something I told you to do? Something that's going to bring you abundance of blessings and, give you peace and happiness. And I'm going to sit here and debate with you? Child, bye. Let me find somebody else who's willing to do it. So, I decided to make this message because I think this message will relate to so many, because of this very time that we're in, because of this quarantine, because of the craziness in the world that we're facing right now, with racism and all this hurtful things. It's like, this is the shift. Many things are shifting, and many things will not return to normal. Many things, I believe, now are shifting for the better, shifting for good. So when things start to shift, sometimes God starts to shift his people. So you have to be open to that shift. So if you've already gotten the revelation like I have, but the door hasn't completely opened, like it's going to open, but it just hasn't opened yet, stay still. And that's coming from a person who has a hard time staying still. Stay still. Because if that door has not opened yet, you're going to force something, and then you're going to end up walking through the wrong door. So just stay put. If you guys didn't know, that's the meaning of Kizzy. My dad was telling me, he named me Kizzy because the meaning was stay put. And he was like, girl, you are the complete opposite. I'm like, I don't even know what, I don't know what made you think, honey, that you was going to have a child named Kizzy who would stay put. But either which way, stay put. That's what I'm doing right now. Like, I feel like I felt like I was stuck because I have a revelation, right? I have certain things. I have the means to move, not move literally, but the means to move in the direction God needs me to move, but the door hasn't opened. So rather than me keep trying to pound on certain doors in the wrong door open, I'm challenging myself, and it's extremely difficult, but I have to. I'm challenging myself to stay put and to stay still. Because God will eventually, he will open the door naturally. And you will know it when he opens because it flows like water. So your job is to get prepared. So when the door does open, then you just walk through the door. You glide through the door. There will be no struggle. There will be no struggle. It will flow like water because you've worked, you've prepared yourself, right? You're not filled with anxiety and all that stuff trying to break a door down. When that door opens, you will walk through it. You will flow through it like water. So I hope this encourages someone's, whatever that shift, that revelation, that door, whatever that thing is that God is telling you that it's time to shift because that season has ended. Please, guys, please just know that in order to advance to the next level that God has for you, you have to be willing to walk away from something or someone when that season has ended. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.